Welcome to the podcast, Why Are We Even Here? Enjoy the show.
So do you go to your next quarries?
Yeah, we're still heading towards the peasant. We never made it to him.
Does your cat return to us?
It does indeed. It just kind of, along the rooftops, follows us.
Julius kind of pointed you guys in the general direction of the peasant.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you'll know the house as soon as you see it.
Right. Didn't we also scout out the peasant? So we know he lives in the oldest house in the slums?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you approach the house, it's big mansion. It looks old and dilapidated. Nobody really goes near it because it's kind of isolated almost. Like no one wanted to build next to it.
Interesting.
Everywhere else is like shanties. It's a big house.
Looks like it would have been rather nice in its day.
Well, shall we find out if anyone's home?
We shall. We could just knock on the door.
Garret goes up to the door, knocks. Actually knocks.
Not magically knocks.
Not magically knocks.
Okay. Wait a minute, I'm coming.
Wait a minute, he's coming.
I wait. The cat just kind of jumps down onto the porch and curls up on my shoulder.
So, after the minute, an older man in a...
Is it exactly a minute?
Exactly a minute.
I like it.
I like it, yes.
It's an older, angry-looking gentleman.
Hello. Is your name Kenneth Hardin?
No, the master's not here. He hasn't been the same. But he's not here. He's gone.
He's gone?
Gone.
Permanently gone?
I don't know. He disappeared one night.
Why am I British?
Why are you British?
Did you develop an accent?
Why would you develop an accent? Can you just go through the process of your mind there?
I don't know. It's what I give evil charisma.
Just like you skip just like straight American villains and you go straight to Moriarty.
Exactly. British people make better villains.
Tells you he's gone. He's not. I don't know if he's coming back. It's been 2 days.
Do you know where he went?
One of our windows was broken. I saw him climbing through it the other night.
Huh. Interesting. So he snuck out of his own house.
Wonder why.
Strange.
Sounds like your master might have gone mad.
Wouldn't be the only one in this neighborhood.
Do you have any idea where he might have gone?
He frequents a whorehouse closer to the center of the slums.
We should definitely go investigate that.
Yes,
We definitely should.
Definitely. Just thank God you don't have the lawful good paladin
Best
with you.
investigation.
What time is it? Okay.
It's just like the sun has been setting, so
Okay.
it's getting really close to like kind of like that dusk time period.
Shall we go then?
Shall
We might come back around.
I won't hold my breath. Slams the door in your face.
Rude.
Roll a perception check. Just Jake.
Oh,
14. 14?
You still think the house is in an odd spot?
Okay.
And at 1, so I'm okay with not taking that. Not too late now. You already said it was only Jake.
Anyhow.
Okay, so are you gonna head to the whorehouse you mentioned?
Obviously.
Of course. We must investigate after all.
There's
Yes,
like a
we
small,
must
there's like a
investigate.
smaller like town square almost. It's like the slums are its own town inside the city,
Okay.
and in that square you just see this bright, bombastic tavern with girls like in the windows, kind of like the red light district in Amsterdam.
Okay.
It's clearly advertising it's a brothel.
If I dismiss my familiar, does it store like a pocket dimension? Because I can dismiss them and re-bring it in. Just a future curiosity.
I'd say it just kind of like, yeah, it does like a pocket dimension kind of thing.
Okay.
It's just like,
Or it could turn into some kind of like bubble.
or you'd have it turn into like an item, or get like
That's fair.
go into your key.
it's like a raccoon hat, but it's a cat.
Before we go in, I just pat it on the head and it turns into magical energy and kind of into the key. I like that one.
As you start getting close to the brothel, Garret just kind of goes like this and then goes like this. He wipes his hand across his face in 2 different directions. Doesn't explain.
Do we feel anything differently about Garret?
He doesn't feel like a good guy anymore.
Okay.
But he doesn't feel like a bad guy.
I forgot that you felt like a good guy.
He doesn't feel like
I
a
did
guy.
too.
Oh, you
He
feel like a
just
nothing?
feels.
He's just there. He's like
He's
a
just- he
he's like a
exists.
lampshade or a friend zone guy.
He exists.
He's a blank slate.
Pretty much.
All right.
So, do you enter the brothel, or are you?
I
just
enter
gonna-
the brothel.
Okay. Inside, it's kind of the typical raucous tavern scene. You got girls sitting on guys' lap. They're flirting, doing all kinds of nasty, depraved shit. You can hear moans coming from several of the rooms. All kinds of shit going down.
Sin. Don't you love it?
Very much so. Is there a woman that's very clearly in charge, or a man that's very clearly in charge?
There is like a middle-aged woman who's still like fairly attractive, but she's clearly like not taking any customers.
Looks like we found the mistress.
Not even having your roll perception on that because it's just obvious.
I walk up to the mistress and say, "How do you do, madam?"
Nightly rate's 20 gold.
Oh, we're not here for the
Assumptions
services
much.
right now.
Sweetie, you come into a whorehouse expecting what?
Looking for someone.
Oh boy.
A regular here, apparently.
I might be back later to get up on that offer. But for now, we're here on business, unfortunately.
Who are you looking for?
A man named Kenneth Hardeal. Has he been by recently?
Saw him a couple nights ago. He bit one of my girls' ears off,
Bit it off.
threw him out, and he ran off into the...
Just sounds like the kind of person you'd want to hang out with, doesn't it?
Oh
I
yeah.
don't understand. He'd been the perfect patron. Tipped the bartender, paid the girls every night, and then one night he just...
Every night.
Every night. I'm assuming this man isn't married.
Especially in this
Or
part
he
of town.
is. That's exactly why he's here.
Fair enough.
He was scrounging for scraps at the back of the tavern. We haven't seen him since, but it's only been a few hours.
Back of which tavern?
This tavern.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
We're a tavern for tax purposes.
Right. And so you haven't seen him for a few days?
Few hours.
Few hours. Oh. You said he ran off? Which direction?
I'd say back towards this house, but he had this wild look in his eye. He could be anywhere.
Maybe he broke into his house.
Roll perceptions.
19.
Okay.
26.
22.
Okay. All three of you hear a scream outside of the tavern, like blood curdling, sharp, womanish scream.
Thanks for your help, ma'am. And
The night of calls. I'll be back later. And he leaves.
I'll be back.
Okay,
Okay.
Well, I am
so
bonus
you
on
exit
both
the
of them.
brothel, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The scream. So you hear that it's coming from a block away to the east,
23.
back towards the house.
Okay. I kind of start in that direction.
I'm jogging in that direction.
Yeah,
You
let's
see
hear
people gathering around, like this woman who's like sitting there in a pool of blood.
Oh.
Isn't that
Coming
nice?
through, my doctor.
Roll deception.
That is a 27.
What is
They
your
think you're the
perception?
goddamn
11.
Surgeon General.
Oh.
I have there's a bard thing called expertise where I add my proficiency bonus twice.
Oh.
Jesus.
You then.
Why do we give the things we don't?
I did it for deception.
So that everyone
persuasion.
parts and they kind of all are just staring at you while you're examining the body.
Is it a body or is it a...
Clearly dead.
Okay.
Throat has been slashed and
Well, that makes the healing.
Closer.
Is there anything you need help with, Doctor?
Yes, I could use your help examining the body, assistant.
And assistant number 2?
That's 29. To make the assistant bluff.
okay, people believe he's your assistant.
Yes, come join me, assistant. I require your assistance.
So are you just gonna let this crowd just gather around you while you're sitting there around a dead girl?
How close are they?
I'd say about it's a tight circle around 7 feet away from the body. So they're close enough to have a direct view of the gore, but far enough to where they're not standing on top of her.
22 persuasion check to tell everyone to back up. Just, ladies, gentlemen, please, if you could give me some space.
The mob reacts in turn. Well, it's not really mob, just a group. They comply, and they all just kind of leave.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't presume she'd have memories if I resurrected her as a zombie, would she?
She might.
Can I roll Arcana to know whether or not she'd have memories if I resurrected her as a zombie?
You can try.
Oh shit, High Priest Mask gives me
19.
spells.
You know that she'd have memories of her life, but her last few moments were pretty violent.
So she might not.
But you do see some bloody footprints going off in the direction of the house.
Well, that seems
Like,
useful.
up to the front door?
It's just you're quite at about half mile away.
Okay.
And it's not like they're running; they're just kind of almost shambling.
Okay. We should follow these footprints.
Garret
Seems
does
good
the
to
same
me.
hand gestures again, and he feels like a good guy again.
Wonderful.
So,
I start following the footprints.
are you at a walking pace or at a jogging?
I'm
Brisk
jogging.
walk.
Brisk walk. Okay, so he's jogging. He gets closer to this guy, huddled on the ground. Looks like he's eating something.
Do the footprints lead straight to him?
Yep.
And they end
Obviously,
past
yes.
him?
They end at him.
Okay.
They
They end at him, right.
they are him.
They
Was
are
the
him.
body missing anything?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Was there any noticeably missing pieces of the body?
Particularly her ear was gone.
I think we're talking about him, right?
Yes. No, the girl
Oh,
that
okay.
was dead.
Her
She
ear
was
is gone,
missing
and the slash across her throat was very jagged. Almost if it had been done with a piece of stone or even a hand, just the nails. And he's just sitting there. You can just hear violent, just.
Cannon.
Okay. He turns and you see this wild, feral look in his eyes. He's clearly broken by whatever he's seen. In one hand, he's got a rat, and in the other hand, he's got a book.
It looks like you've already received the good word, Kenneth.
You can see the madness and his own psyche are just at these crazy odds. He's fighting it as best he can, but it's taking over.
There's really not much I can do to help our poor little Kenneth.
But as you get close, are you gonna try to approach him? The closer you get, his name on the list kind of glows,
Interesting.
Well, that's useful.
and the
Oh.
do you
Sorry.
continue getting closer?
Yes.
The brighter it glows, the more kind of dazed over and glazed over look in his eye.
And I just walk right up to him to the point where I could reach out and touch him.
The second you touch him, he just kind of sinks into shadow, and his name right off the list.
Oh, this is going to
That's
be easy.
useful.
All we have to do is touch them? Well, that changes things.
That makes everything easy.
Hi. So we're going up to the building. No, we're not. We just absorbed him.
Yeah, we
Never mind.
absorbed a man.
The,
Well, that was easy.
That was very
Shall we
easy.
go to the next?
I don't think they're all going to be this easy. Anyway. We might as well go to the next one on the list, though, as far as location. And that would be Jermaine Harlan? I can't read my own handwriting. Harlan. We'll say Harlan.
Which is the wagon man.
He's the wagon man. He lives here, somewhere in the slums on the edge.
so you retrace your steps back to the slums, to the edge of the slums in the wagon shop, and he's sitting there trying to get a merchant's wagon before they close the city gates for the night. He's trying to get the wagon wheel fixed. What do you want? I'm
Just-
kinda busy here.
What do we want?
What do we want?
What are we gonna do here?
For context, they're out of character.
We are out of character.
I don't know. What do we do?
We did not think this through!
We need to convince him to join the cult.
Okay, so back into character. We just... a moment of your time.
Okay, I can talk while I work, but you have to do most of the talking.
Are we in an enclosed building?
Yeah. He's like feverishly working on this wheel. Looks like it's almost done, but he's just having an issue with one of the spokes.
Is there just the one door?
Just the one door.
I go and lock it.
He doesn't even pay any attention.
It's arcane lock, so there's no noise. I've just put a ward on the door that it can't be opened until I spell it.
So, Mr. Harlan, can I call you Jermaine?
Sure, call me whatever the fuck you want. Just let me...
Have you recently come into possession of an odd book?
His face drains of all color.
I'll take that as a yes. Did you perchance read the book?
Left in that fucking box it came in.
No, that's not very nice. When someone goes through the trouble of giving you a free book, you should really read it.
I can barely read.
It's a good read, though. It's a simple read. A peasant could read it.
So this is for the audience. The Gospel of the Witch is written in an indecipherable language. Even if you had a feat or something that gave you all access to all languages, you would still not be able to decipher it. It is literally something that is not readable by any one person, except in the throes of madness. Back to the story.
A peasant could read it, Jermaine. I've known a few peasants who have read it.
Well, good for them. Didn't sit right with me.
Did you try?
No.
You should at least try.
Come on, I'll lend you my copy. You can attempt to read it.
I don't want anything to do with that book or you. Get out.
Oh, Mr. Harlan, please.
As you kind of like close in on him, trying to convince him to read, you notice that the wheel is old. Like looks like he's been working on it for weeks, and he's gotten nowhere with it.
Really, Mr. Harlan, are you having some problems with that wagon wheel?
No, I have to get it done by tonight. The merchant said he's leaving.
It looks like
I'm exploring the rest of the room.
I'm trying to just kind of keeping his attention while they do
I'll
exploring
explore
things.
the room as well.
Okay, roll perceptions.
24.
24?
16.
I suppose I don't roll one.
Yeah. You notice that a lot of the tools seem like they haven't really been moved. You notice that everything is coated in like a fine layer of dust.
I just look over at you and I'm just like...
And particularly, the invoice for the merchant is 2 weeks old.
particularly dusty in here. And gestures to the invoice. It's a little bit dated.
Mr. Harlan, the invoice for this wagon wheel is a little old.
He just stops.
How long have you been in here?
I don't know. He almost starts to get panicky.
I think you just need to relax.
You notice his name on the list is starting to glow ever more brighter.
Just relax, Mr. Harlan. I think
No.
some fresh air might do you good.
No.
Yes, well, just a stroll through the forest, really. There's a nice, safe path.
Sure. When he says sure, his eyes glaze over and he just kind of
That's it.
walks out of the shop.
I just kind of follow him and pat him on the shoulder. Everything's going to be okay.
His name's still glowing, but it's not glowing as bright as the other guy.
Okay.
You might want to dispel that.
Just as he gets near the door, I'm just like... And dispel the lock. So he can...
He just opens the door.
Is it late enough at night that the gates to the city would be closed?
It's right before they close, but there's a special one for merchants that when they have to make a run.
Okay.
And he's heading straight for that one, and it's open
I'm
an
just-
additional hour.
Walking with him. Just Everything is going to be all right, Mr. Harlan.
I'm walking along with them.
Everything fine.
Some fresh air will do you good.
Fresh air.
Yes.
You've almost put him into a trance with your words.
Good.
You're good at this.
Garret just like slides over to your character and he's just like, so that was easy.
But not as easy.
Not as easy as, but still.
He's
He's
still
speaking quietly, by the way, not like.
Yeah, I know, but he's like Garret, not Garret, but the merchant's just, you can see he's like trying to shake out of it, but he can't. Every single one of his attempts just fails. And you get finally to the gate after 5 minutes of walking, and he just quietly slips, like hops into a wagon that's about to take off, and it just rides out.
Are we with him in the wagon, or does he?
No, he gets in because the book will tell him where to go.
Okay. Does his name poof off of my list?
It fades, but it won't poof until he is back at the cave.
Okay. Well, that's two.
So, 2 down.
Who's up next?
Next, let's see. That's Kenneth, Jermaine. Now, who's closer to where we are now? The tailor, the general store, or the blacksmith?
The general store would be.
So next we have Raphael Reed. I wonder if his middle name starts with an R.
Maybe.
Probably. So we begin heading towards the tailor shop.
No, general store.
General store. There you go. That one.
As you go
Nice.
towards the general store, you hear all of the gates around the city slam shut.
Well, right on time. Except for that merchant gate. It should be open another hour.
And you hear like trumpets blasting through the night.
Oh, that's not good. I wonder what could possibly
And
be
you see
wrong.
a lot of the citizens towards the slums starting to rush into their houses.
I fear we should go back to the hotel.
Curfew.
Yes.
How close is the hotel?
You can make it easily before the time, but it'll be like kind of right before the night starts patrolling.
Fair enough. We've already paid for the hotel. No reason to stay with the empty, decrepit mansion.
Yeah.
We go back to the inn.
Okay. So you get to the inn. He's like, the innkeeper just kind of sits there twirling his mustache. You weren't gonna make it.
Of course we're gonna make it.
Rooms are upstairs.
Player characters.
Thank you. Good night, Jim.
Good night.
Do we all have our own room, I'm assuming?
You two are sharing. He has his own room.
Gotcha.
I'm a good bodyguard. I don't sleep. Because elf.
Oh, right, you're an elf. You trance.
Oh.
I'm a half elf. I do
stay
sleep.
home.
Yeah, he's a fucking scrub human.
Who's a scrub human?
You.
I look human right now.
I'm a demon.
I'm a demon.
I'm just straight up. I'm just a fucking demon. I've got
All right,
horns.
I forgot that you're a tiefling.
I'm a tiefling.
And no one's like responding to that?
Because his masks.
Right. Do they hide your horns?
No.
People just don't care.
Register.
Like, this is a city that's bustling and has a few of his kind.
Okay.
But in the smaller towns, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
I was going to say, I imagine, like Punisher style, you don't need a mask because you have a big skull on your chest.
So, stay the night. You all kind of dream well, trance well.
Yeah.
Indeed, my cat just kind of reforms and curls up.
You missed. I caught it. Attempt not even made.
So,
You're picking that up. Anywho.
next morning comes around. Same kind of group that was in the tavern last night. In the tavern again. They look like the drunks that...
A short
But not
guy's
the same
there.
exact people.
Yeah, not the same exact people. Just the same type of crowd.
Right.
I bet you
People
the
that
short
don't
guy's
wanna-
not there.
Be anywhere else but at a bar.
Anything eventful?
Was there?
No, there was not.
No.
Wonderful.
So are you going to go talk to the general store owner?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's it's early morning, kind of getting toward the midday period, but
We slept late.
you did. I mean, you were out until like the very last second.
Yeah.
So as Garret rejoins the party, he just kind of dusts at his clothes a little bit, and they change color.
Before I leave the room, I make sure that I reset my disguise, because I assume it goes away when I sleep.
Spells reset.
So I just... Luckily my hexes are at will, so I just kind
I
of...
hate you. I don't have, like, at will.
Doop, doop, doop.
So you guys are making your way to the general store, and you start hearing a lot of whispers, and it looks like people are awful gossipy today.
Interesting.
I grab someone and ask them what happened.
They look at you like you're fucking crazy.
Not like, hey, what happened? Just like, hey, what's everyone chatting about?
Oh, having a head? There were two people went missing last night.
Well, I just walk up. Didn't one of them go insane, though? Like, bit off a woman's ear.
We didn't hear none of that. There was a woman who had her throat slashed.
Just what they're saying down in the poorer part of town.
Poor slums. Has been the same since the old king took power.
Interesting. What about the other one that went missing? You said there was two.
They say he just walked straight up to the merchant gate and left.
Maybe he just needed a break.
Nobody's seen him in a week, but apparently he was still alive.
Huh.
Maybe he's running from something.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Bad times.
It's the 7th time this month people have gone missing.
That's just a real shame.
The real
What
shame
a
is they're
world
not
we
doing
live in.
anything about it.
We're not safe, even our own beds.
Yeah.
Well, good day to you, and may the gods bless your travels.
Likewise.
I'm sorry, but the irony is it's 100
Punch in the
with this
face.
one.
It's better because everyone we talk to thinks my character is like the epitome of good.
Right?
Like, they just have a good feeling about you, and I'm just a really good liar.
I'm just a good guy. I'm also
You're
really,
just in the background.
I'm also a really good liar. But so we're heading towards the general store.
You notice people are kind of going in and out semi-regularly.
Interesting.
So where's Nobleman?
Have we seen Julius at all?
He hasn't shown up yet, but you do hear several people exclaiming that a knight's finally in the poorer part of town.
Oh.
It's a lot of jeers and shouts like, "Do something about the fucking people disappearing."
Do you think that's...
Could be.
Should we check?
No, right now we're busy.
We're busy and he's...
Let's just let him do him.
Walk into the general store. Is it pretty busy at this time? Are
It's
there several
fairly
people?
busy, a lot of housewives getting food for the nightly meal and shit.
Neat. Let's see. What can I do about that?
Can I manually edit these?
There's a woman behind the counter,
I can. Yes.
and she's just kind of trying to do everything at once. It's definitely noticeable that there isn't someone there's something missing from her.
There's something missing from her?
Yeah, she's missing something important to her.
Can I roll a perception check to see what she's missing, or?
Sure.
Nope. That was less than a 10. It was a 9 total. With
You think
my...
she just looks tired?
Poor thing.
I go up to the gal and... What's the dude's name?
Raphael Reed.
I walk up to her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you direct me in the direction of Mr. Raphael Reed?"
She bursts into tears.
Oh. Is there something wrong?
They're there.
Between sobs, she's like, "My husband, yes." uncontrollable sobs, and everyone looks at you and they're like, he's a good guy, but why is he such an asshole?
I just go up. You said it's full of like housewives and such.
Yeah.
Just go up to one of them like, ma'am, can you please inform me what's wrong with the shopkeep?
Terrible thing. The owner, Raphael, they say he got sick of something, and then his mind went.
His mind went. Well,
He started screaming in the night about bugs crawling all over him, and
actually,
he stopped talking to him altogether.
we have heard about this. My friend here, who's trying to console the good shopkeep, is a doctor.
I happen to have a remedy for his illness.
Do you say that as you're like kind of like?
I imagine he just kind of like is trying to console the woman while listening to his conversation because he needs to know, and he just kind of chimes in and is like, "Yes, I'm a doctor, and I've heard of his recent
Roll
illness,
deception.
and
Both of
has
us?
brought a remedy."
Yeah.
I'm just standing there staring like a body.
27
Doodle-doo, where's my state?
plus 11.
Also 27. No, 25. Sorry. No. 27. 19 plus 8. There you go.
Why are your rolls so good?
Because this is what we do.
Because this die is wonderful.
I shouldn't have given you that die.
To be fair, I've gotten 3 nat 1s tonight.
I've also
I
rolled
just have
several
really-
3s and 2s. They're just...
I just have really good bonuses.
See? There you go.
So obviously, you succeed in convincing her to get a remedy. And she looks to her son who was stocking something to tend the shop. She shows you two up to the room where her husband's thrashing about in like a mad
I
stupor.
bring him about.
Like he's my apprentice.
He is
He's our bodyguard,
our bodyguard. Every traveling physician needs a bodyguard.
especially at this day.
They buy it with that fucking roll. So you get, and he's thrashing about. You notice the name on the list. It's growing pretty bright, but it's not.
Okay.
I just step aside of the woman and I'm like, "Ma'am, could you please leave us to our work? This might get messy, and I don't want you to witness it."
Just need
She
to not
kinda
come in no matter
nods.
what you hear.
That's a 27 persuasion check if you care. I rolled a 16. You want me to roll it again under your watchful eye?
roll it again, just because your roll's been a little too good.
29 then. At 18.
Alright. So, she, like, okay, I'll leave. She closes the door behind her, leaving you 3 alone in the room with him.
You should lock the door.
We just kind of over his shoulder and Arcane locks the door again.
I look at the man on the bed and I'm just like... So I go over and I just touch him to see if it does the thing.
Does not.
He's not quite gone.
Roll an arcane. check.
Arcana?
Yeah, Arcana.
15?
15?
Yeah.
I'm just checking something. Still. Roll a medicine, actually. Untrained.
Hey, I can do that, actually.
Can you do medicine? Or untrained?
Well, I
both.
got a 17.
16 plus 3 plus 2, 21.
Okay. You know that he's definitely ill. You
Jack
know
of all
that he's
trades.
going to die.
Oh. Yeah, he died.
We can't let that happen.
And there's really not too much you can do about it.
Is he sicker than just going mentally crazy? He's actually physically sick as well?
Yeah, like, the madness was brought, like, he got the book the day before he got sick. And then as he got sick, both the madness and the disease, I think kind of like the Black Plague and, like, dysentery, how you literally went insane from, like, all the pain you were in.
Right. Eric, you're naturey.
I'm naturing, thanks.
Do you know of herbal remedies for this,
Do
the physical illness.
Do I?
Do you?
Do
I-
You would know him.
Actually, have an herbalism kit
Okay.
and proficiency in said herbalism kit. And a poisoner's kit, because every good witch needs both.
I know there are spells to cure disease, but I don't
I
think
have cure wounds, if that'd be any use.
No, cure wounds is healing health.
I mean, if you need some health back.
Well, okay. Roll a survival followed by a medicine check, because you are pretty well versed at being a ranger. You
Alright.
know like general like cures for some illnesses.
Survival and then medicine.
Yep.
19 on survival and 21 on medicine.
Okay, so you identify the disease as one that kind of mimics another more deadlier disease. It still can kill you, but it's not as dangerous.
Alright.
And then you quickly remember, oh, they taught us how to deal with this because we see it very often.
Uh-huh.
You don't remember the name of the illness, but you remember the herbs that you have
Alright,
to
so
mix
what
together.
herbs do I need?
I don't have the list in my head.
Would they be in my herbalism kit? Would they be common?
They would be very common
Alright.
because they don't teach you to.
We need
this
these
one
herbs.
specific herb that
Even if-
only blossoms like once a 20
Even if we
years.
don't have them, we are right above a general store.
That is true.
So while you're mixing together the herbs, you notice you are missing one key component, particularly a root. It's like kind of like one of those general like calming roots that
Uh-huh.
people usually mix with their tea.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yes, sure, we'll go with
Okay.
that. So, but you also remember you saw it down in the general store.
Alright.
You can try and go get it, like steal it, or you can just buy it, like a.
Or, you know, we wouldn't have to, seeing as it's to save her husband. She'd probably just give us the root.
You never know.
You can do that.
Okay.
What?
Nothing, I was just saying you can go get it's but there's meta knowledge that I want to mention, but can't because meta knowledge.
Arrowsmith, no meta knowledge.
I don't know, that's why I'm not saying it.
Fuck, it's gonna be hard enough posting this to YouTube. Just want to get the good party going.
All of your good
So could
parties.
you
just
unlock
close
the
it
door
down.
then, so I can go get the root?
He just kind of waves his fingers and yeah, you have permission to leave.
I go out and explain that I need the root to save him.
She's like, oh, thank you, thank you. She gives you a whole like root that's way more than you need,
Alright.
but she
I'll put it in your herbalism kit.
I'm mixing it with.
roll a medicine check.
Is that what I need to roll for that? I probably.
You're literally making medicine.
I probably should have taken medicine as one of my things.
You probably should have just left me to do it.
What's your medicine? Are you trained in medicine?
Not trained, no, but I rolled high on my.
I can also do medicine.
I got a 13. But I'm also proficient in the herbalism kit, so I get to add my proficiency bonus, so that's 16.
You're mixing it, but you're not mixing it well.
Can I make a perception to notice that he's not? Can I make a perception medicine check? To
Sorry,
notice
I
that
don't
he's-
often make healing potions.
Sure.
That's a 22 perception,
Okay, you're attentively watching him mix,
and that is a 23 medicine.
and then you realize he's not doing it well. Like he'll kind of get the job done, but it won't like have the desired effect unless you consume a lot of it.
You're doing it wrong.
Sorry, I don't often make potions.
Just give it to me. Do you want to make another medicine check?
Yeah, just you knew that he was doing it wrong. Now you have to remember how to do it correctly.
23 again.
I really probably should take medicine as one.
You mix it almost
That makes sense.
perfectly.
If you're not in it's another 18. It's,
The medicine, like it becomes like quickly into a paste and then into a liquid as you grind it up, and then add a little bit of water, and it's ready.
Yeah.
I'm just. He needs to drink it.
Okay.
So then he has to roll a fortitude check just to make sure he doesn't fucking die because it will hurt. He survives the initial blow.
He's alive for now.
He's not out of the woods, but one more check will decide if he needs more or less. He's hurting real bad.
Health-wise?
Your health-wise?
Health-wise.
That is a thing I can fix. As soon as I...
Like he's... Okay. Does he need to drink more potion, or does he just need to...
He just needs, like, the constitution back.
You know what's kind of funny? I have the spell that lets me cure disease. Lesser restoration.
For fuck's sake.
I wasn't aware that's what it did. I forgot I had written it down. It's my bad. Oh, do it now. Anyway.
You need to heal him.
If he needs to be healed.
I'm gonna just rapid fire cantrips on him because that's a thing I can do. No, not mending. No, that's what? No, that's not correct. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, not mending. That's cure wounds thing. Sorry, I didn't have all of my spells added to my thing. Okay. Cure wounds is D8 plus spellcasting modifier, which is 8.
Roll it.
8. And I'm going to cast it in the second level slot, so that's another 8, so that's 16 plus 6, 22.
Okay, so his screams of anguish and thrashing calms down a bit, but you can still see, like, when his eyes are open, you can see, like, a wild look. Like, his mind has gone.
Mr. Reed, is that you?
He's breathing heavily. He's just not...
I reach out to touch him and see if he just...
Nice sounds.
That was a very interesting onomatopoeia.
No, I also cast that.
That was like Cthulhu mixed with hentai kind of level. Just
So, did it work? Did he sploof?
let's check.
You know, it's actually a good thing I didn't use that spell, though. 'Cause it's
He
a second
does.
level spell. He boofs.
Although it's different this time. It's as if his spirit went down and his body, a shell, remained.
Weird.
This is good.
Yes, except for the fact that now we have to explain to the shopkeep that her husband
I'm
is...
gonna see if the shell is breathing at all.
I'm not gonna make a roll perception. You can tell that it's breathing and its heartbeat is going, but it's just not responding to any kind of stimuli.
Good.
So it's a catatonic body.
But he's alive.
It's brain dead.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fantastic.
He's
How
just
are we going
sleeping.
to explain?
Well, it's not like we're going to stay in the city for long.
It's just an extended rest.
And you with your masks and I with my illusions is...
Okay.
Can we open the door? Did you ever relock it?
No, I can designate people that can pass through it without trouble, but at this point he dispels it because it's important.
And the rest of that route went in your kit.
Yes.
I also closed the guy's eyes to make it look like he's sleeping.
They just kind of go with it. It's like every single muscle in his body is completely relaxed.
Just like,
I'll let you explain. You're the doctor.
yeah, let's do that. So I go out and find the shopkeep lady, and I grab her by the shoulder, and I'm like, we managed to stabilize him. He's alive, but he's going to rest for quite a while.
She's kind of like, she's almost like cried out. Her eyes are puffy and doesn't look like she's squeezing any more tears out. Just kind of slowly nods, like, okay.
He might sleep for 2 or 3 days, but that's perfectly normal given what he went through. We also gave him a sleeping draft, so he'll be out.
She's just thanking you profusely, and they don't have much in the way of money, but she offers you.
We're the worst kind of people.
hard.
Are we going to accept payment?
Yeah.
I mean, we did heal him.
He's just.
With drugs that
Garret
she
just
gave
looks at her and
us.
he's like, oh no, I really can't take your money.
That's awfully nice for the evil party.
Yeah. Like,
But if you insist.
I've known good parties that are like, yeah, fuck, give me money.
But if she insists.
She hands you what little they can afford to give out, 5 gold pieces.
I appreciate it.
Plus you have a shit ton of root that's going to help you in further healing batches.
Your donation will help make a lot of people feel better.
So you leave the tailor. His name's off the list.
No, that was the general.
That was the
store, my
general
bad. You still have the tailor and the blacksmith.
As soon as they're outside of the shop, he's like, yeah, that'll make me feel real good. I know where I'm going now.
Wasn't it 20 gold pieces a night?
Yeah, but that's a quarter of the cost, and he's got
You can get
plenty
a fourth
of
of a
money.
girl.